Hello and welcome to the Walking Dead Support Group. Great episode 5 tonight. To my left, I have Jason McCarthy. To my right, Keith O'Brien.
Hello.
Evening, everybody.
We are back in full complement again. Good live studio audience joined us tonight. So, as we always do, let's go with the first thing that happened tonight for us, the kill count.
Kill count.
The official kill count master is?
Official zombie kill count for tonight is 14.
14.
Looks like the zombie budget's dying.
Well...
But before you go, because I do have it, I had it broken down. We had a total of 14. Now, there were a lot of... First of all, we had... do we call them super kills?
Yeah, let's go with super kills.
Okay, I wrote down super kills. So we got Rick with 4 super kills, okay, on the Rage super kills. Then later on, we see Glenn finding Rick with a whole bunch of zombies. Now, those are kind of unconfirmed because we didn't see him die, but he's obviously on some kind of deck the halls, clear the halls, rampage moment.
Right.
But 14 confirmed zombie kills with 4 super kills.
With 4 super, and while we may not have had as many kills, we definitely got some great looking kills.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
There was between Michonne and Rick just swinging sharp metal objects. You saw bits and pieces moving.
Well, Rick's probably is dull, so they're just a blunt object.
Right. Well, you know,
he's
but
still doing great.
He was splitting things in multiple directions. All right.
That's
So while
sheer
we're on the
force of
kills,
anger.
Carnage with a capital
what was your
letters.
favorite kill of the night?
My favorite kill was Michonne's slash through the body. Actually, technically, it wasn't a kill if you think about it.
Well, but eventually the governor says that it's...
Phil? Phil Connors?
Yes, him. We're going to work that in, folks. Just get used to it. If you haven't seen it, you need to see that. Google that reference. But when he did say that she had taken out 6 of his little captives there. So, Keith, what was your favorite kill of the night?
My favorite kill was Rick had the axe, dull blade, and he had the haul, and he just with one hand went over the head, wham, and you see the head kind of like split open like a melon. And
Oh, so you're going for the Gallagher effect.
I'm going for the I
Yeah.
guess. But
Right.
I mean, he was on a good rampage. Michonne clearly 3 kills with Jason, but she was just on a I gotta kill something.
Right, you know? It was like she needed a cigarette.
Yeah, it's like she needed a cigarette. And Rick was just like I said. He had a one-handed over the top with the axe, dull axe, right into the cranium of a zombie, and it just went, made like a little V.
I have another kill I want to mention, but I'll let you go first, only because I don't want to.
My favorite kill was the stomp.
Yep,
When the head
stomp.
was there, he's like, and then all of a sudden a foot comes down, and it was, that was so...
Stomp kill.
Now that was Gallagher-esque. It was just the popping of the melon, and it was great.
Alex, you know what I like about this? This is what I like about this. With a low zombie count like this, we can concentrate on our favorite kill.
Absolutely.
I like this segment. This is a good segment.
Favorite kill of the night.
Okay. Jason, go ahead. What were you
That was the kill. I mean,
that-
it was just,
Oh, you were gonna get?
it's
Were
like
you gonna
somebody
go?
stomping on an oversized tomato. That's what that was.
Okay, so back on track with what we got. The title of this show was "Say the Word," and that was we believe that was going to be a reference to 2 episodes ago when Rick and Daryl were kind of worried about the prisoners, and he said, watch my back, and he said, just say the word,
Say the word, brother.
indicating if something happens, say it, and I'll shoot him. I won't ask.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't really see that tonight, though. We didn't see a connection to that. So, what do you think the say the word meant? Did it mean anything, or do you think it was the communication between Michonne and Andrea?
I think the producers are just messing with us.
Just mean?
Just mean.
Just mean.
Yeah.
Just mean messing with us.
I didn't see anything.
I didn't see
indicative of
anything say the word. So I mean, I don't know. Is there a reverse effect and Rick is on a little killing spree? No, he's just on a little road rampage. And Daryl, I don't know. I mean, it was a good episode for Daryl, if you want to touch on that. Say the word. And Daryl, as you say, Rick said, he says to Rick, say the word, and I'm there for you. He seemed to take control of the episode. It's like, he's like this, going like this to Rick. Rick, hello, Rick. And he goes, okay, he's out. Tells Beth, he's out. He lost his mother. Keep an eye on him. I'm in charge. I'm taking off.
And one of our probably most loyal watchers is Heather. I was digging Rick's kill of the bloated zombie. He went sick. That was pretty good.
That was pretty good.
Because everybody thought, and we saw it here on the fan page, and we were getting the text messages, and even some of the audience in the room thought they were going to find Lori or
Yeah.
T-Dog in that guy.
Okay.
And that was pretty funny.
All right, you know what? Just keep Jason off the hook because, that way Heather won't yell at you. Here's the deal, Heather, all right? Just think about it, all right? He was stabbing a fat zombie. I mean, he just wanted to kill his own wife. He's just stabbing a pregnant zombie.
But it was.
You think that was him taking out
Taking
the
out his
rage
own wife.
that because Lori
Oh, yeah.
had passed?
I don't know.
I think it was a male zombie,
Male zombie.
but
Yeah.
it did.
Well,
look
he
pregnant.
was
But he was a
male,
fat
he was
zombie.
fat, he was
Right.
Yeah,
bloated.
it's what do you call it? It was a bloated zombie. So he was just,
Right, so you know what?
he saw her belly.
That was like the first legitimately somewhat obese zombie,
Bees-
maybe.
Maybe.
We've seen a lot of thin zombies.
Maybe all the women of the world will finally get their wish, and in the zombie apocalypse, men will be the ones that carry the babies.
All right, that's for another after show. We're not going there today. That's just over the top. We're going to lose the sponsors we don't have.
Losing half of zero is still zero, right?
Absolutely.
Right.
Okay.
So we had a preview of Glenn digging one grave from last week coming into this, and that was one of the things they ran in the commercials. And then we did find out. I to be honest with you, I didn't think we were going to find this out, but we find out in this episode that they think that there's 3 members dead, that they lost a third of their group in this whole thing here. That's
Right.
quite possible. So let's hit on that because we had some good theories come out of that, and I'll let Keith go first on this one. Who's dead? Who's not dead?
Well,
Because we know Laurie's body wasn't where it's supposed to be.
Right. Now we got Laurie's body missing. So we got a bloody mess on the floor where Laurie was. And Shane finds a shell casing. So Laurie's body's missing. There's one grave we don't have to dig. We got Carol's do-rag was found by Daryl last week. There's another grave we don't need to dig. But they're clearly digging 3 graves now for what? Symbolism? Because what? The world's righted? No. So why? We got T-Dog. Drag the body out, put him in the hole. So I don't know. I mean, in past episodes, they weren't digging graves for people as symbolisms. They were burying people that died. So why are they digging 3 graves? I don't know.
I think they're digging 3 graves because he said they were family.
They were family.
And
So now we're just doing memorial graves?
Well, why not? Why not do that? I mean, it's obvious that they lose in their minds. They've lost 2 women and T-Dog. We didn't hear all that story with T-Dog and Glenn until just then about that. How T-Dog had gone back to help and how much they had. See, that was a backstory that when they all kind of mixed in that prior episode back in season 1. We didn't really know the backdrop to T-Dog and Glenn like that.
No.
So.
It also happens a lot in combat. You lose somebody in combat,
That's
you're
true.
still going to put a marker out there,
point.
to signify that they were lost.
They were lost. So, but why dig the hole then?
Maybe in
Well,
case they found the body.
that's.
Don't know.
I think everyone's still trying to cling on to little bits of humanity, and burying your dead is a good way.
It's a good way.
Um,
He in the end he put the flower on the on Carol's grave
Daryl?
because we saw the rocks. So we assume that's Carol's grave. We got that from Billy. Thanks, Billy. But I actually thought he was going to have when they were rampaging the zombie daycare. There's no zombies in the daycare, but
we were so looking for a zombie baby.
daycare.
How bad is that?
That wouldn't have been good.
We found dinner, though.
They'd find dinner.
Yeah.
Possum
Possum stew.
Possum stew. But he saw on the not the handprint wall, but the
Saw the name Sophie.
saw the name Sophie on the Apple wall. I thought I thought that's what he was going to take out of his shirt was the little, the Sophie apple on the wall. But yeah, they're clearing out the zombie daycare. I thought that would have been great. AMC, if you're watching, you screwed that up.
And so one of the things that we didn't really hear until Herschel said it, we actually had to go look at this up on the IMDb page, that the 2 inmates, their names are Oscar and Axel. And so Herschel says their names, Oscar and Felix.
Oscar and Felix, the odd couple.
So now we know who they are, and
we're going to still call him Jeff Foxworthy.
right, absolutely.
Okay. Just
And
checking.
T-Dog 2 for now.
T-Dog 2. Or T-Dog 3. How many names does that baby have?
Oh, that
Sorry,
baby
that
had
was a
more names than Ricky Tikki Tabby. I
There's
mean, if it
huge
there's a
segue.
throwback if you don't remember that one. So baby food, we know they're about a year out, right? This is like they're now at the 1 year mark of this apocalypse type like thing. We're
Yes.
pretty close to it. So how good really are the reserves for baby food?
I bet you have that answer on there in about 5 seconds.
Can we get that in about 5 seconds? Because
Yeah.
I haven't bought formula in
Right, I can't
12
imagine
years.
it's going to last all that long.
What's the expiration date on formula? Somebody? Anybody?
Probably a year, but
I don't
I
know.
don't know. It's a good
I don't know.
question.
Recall, you know, Walmart recalls it every now and then. So
Yeah, there's no recalls at that point.
1 year?
We're
Okay.
getting a
Thank you, Vinny.
notation from the control room, 1 year. So
Last week we got-
Christina from the fan page has a question. Any ideas who called Rick? And did anyone hear what he said into the phone during the preview for next week?
he said hello.
I think all I heard was hello. But who could be calling? Now let's figure it out. We know somebody was on the outside, but we don't know who it was. We know it can't be Axel, Oscar, and the other guy that got booted out.
And
So-
they know the number of the boiler room.
And they know somebody knows the number for the boiler room. So there's got to be somebody in there. So maybe there's another staff member kicking around, or maybe another inmate.
Maybe.
Well, when I can't get the image out of my head, when Rick turned around when Glenn found him, that was not a human being anymore.
He was
know what I mean?
very Shane-like.
Yeah. And I think he's done.
What does that mean?
He's trying to say that it
Oh.
was a wrong number. Enough from the boys in the room.
I think he was so done that
We had
anybody
better
could have
help
called
with
him, you know what I
Chris
mean?
last week. At least he had
Anybody in
Philip.
his head could have been calling him. He's certifiable at this point.
Phil. Phil Connors?
Yeah, I think we.
Sorry,
killed Phil.
Vinny.
It's the governor calling.
So
He's calling in
and
a
one thing
reprieve.
that they actually did kind of keep in line with the comic book was the gladiator matches, and so that was interesting to see that kind of came along, and it was funny how Michonne is now out, Andrea's alone, and then now instantly she's already regretting her decision of not following with Michonne.
Absolutely,
Like,
I
I
get that
should have
feeling.
gone, but I didn't.
Which we, as we always been saying, she's a clinger.
Right.
She's you know, she's a follower.
Looks like she might be breaking that mold.
Maybe. But she did, you know what? She did, you know, in the spirit of it, she got up, but then what did she do? She sat back down. Why? Because she enjoys the fight,
Right.
like everybody else.
Yeah.
You got nothing. I mean, it's
See,
all.
I don't think she enjoyed the fight. I think she's figured out she needs to play along so she can sneak out.
Good point.
You know, I think she was generally, because she was generally like, that's just crazy wrong, and we know she's not a fan of Meryl. So
I got a text that says the call is coming from upstairs in the prison.
upstairs in the
Upstairs
prison.
in the prison. What, in the
All right.
tower? Did
So whoever sent that text,
That was
since
Billy.
you're obviously watching,
Yeah, it's
who
Billy.
who upstairs?
Yeah. Was it Glenn and Maggie up in the tower?
Back on the gladiator match, I think Andrea's point of view is she lost her sister. She lost so many people that she cares about to these zombies.
Yeah.
And here they are making sport of it.
Right.
Ooh,
And
I like that.
I think that was the
And they're
issue with
definitely making a sport of it. I mean, and they even said, I mean, he had to pull her aside and go, listen, it's rigged. Somehow that's going to make it better. But we took all their teeth out.
that. But I
Oh,
think
okay,
it's-
well, that's better.
I didn't notice any, blood around the fingernails.
Right, and that was a point you brought up that, they can still scratch. Now, it doesn't seem that the scratch, I think it's the overwhelming bite attacks is what's causing you to turn because you bleed out. The scratch doesn't seem to, we haven't really seen a scratch by itself yet.
No, they always keep saying, I don't see any scratches. I
Right.
don't see any scratches.
So
This one's got no scratches.
Right,
It's a misconception.
I think so too. Do you think we'll see another gladiator match though? Do you think I want
God,
one
I hope
more?
so. I hope so.
I do want one more.
I thought it was.
There's got to be one that goes terribly wrong.
But why? There has to be going to wrong. But they clearly. So what? They save them because Michonne kills their 6, and then they get 6 more, and then they just have a little UFC, WWE rigged
Cage match.
cage match, and they don't kill him in the end. I mean, come on, you know.
I think what I really think is going to happen, and we haven't even mentioned the governor and his kid.
But not only that, no, you know what? I don't know how we skipped over that.
How do we
but
miss
not only
that
that,
already?
you know what we missed? We missed the soundtrack. you know, they're playing Saturday Night Leonard Skinner in the background. It is Georgia after all, but I mean, that was great. But no, we didn't even talk about the what I put down, Woodbury father-daughter dance, and he's sitting there combing her hair. Oh my God!
I know. And first of all, how did he get her to sit still so he could comb her hair?
He had Sesame Street or something playing.
Yeah, come on, I'm not buying that.
She had something. It was some kind of music, a little Tinkerbell box.
No, there's no way. I'm not buying that one. But he's sitting there, and then she gets mad when he pulls her hair. How typical is that? You ever brush your daughter's hair and then she's ready to kill him? I know mine almost was.
Well,
like
in her
zombie.
defense, he technically pulled out part of her scalp.
Pulled out of her scalp. Yeah.
You're defending the zombie daughter.
I don't
Not
know what's wrong with
defending
me.
Pull your hair out. See, I don't like it.
I grew up with a sister, so pulling on my hair means nothing to me. So as we are going along, remember everybody, we do have a Facebook page, and that's the graphic up on the screen. If you do a quick search on Facebook, the Walking Dead Support Group, we are now up to 72 members. We just had a few more join as we went
that's
along.
right. Sorry.
So welcome Melinda, Alicia, Nadia, Rose, and Tony Medeiros, and those are everyone else has kind of been around.
Billy's text, just to be clarified, because I'm getting a text and he's obviously getting angry in the other room. The call is coming from upstairs in the prison, which is a reference to don't go upstairs and check the children. So now we got a cry. He hears the crying baby and he hears the phone ringing, and we got don't go upstairs and check the children from oh boy, what movie is that from? Was that Halloween? No, it wasn't Halloween.
I can't
forget
remember.
it.
But one of our new members is actually chiming in.
How do you check the children?
And this is one of the things I thought when the phone was ringing. Melinda, one of our newest members, just said, I think it's Lori, or he thinks that anyways. Maybe it's her ghost. I think he's going to start talking, thinking he hears Lori. I'm willing to bet he's going to start seeing, he's going to start having like stress hallucinations. And he's going to hear Lori, he's going to talk to Lori, he's going to talk to Chester, you know.
So he's the zombie ghost whisperer.
No, I don't think there's real ghosts.
Oh.
I think he thinks he's hearing it.
Well, there are zombies, so ghosts might be plausible at this point.
All right, so what? Now there's going to be a whole new spin-off show with the zombie ghost hunters on the Sci-Fi Channel?
Oh,
No, just give him an idea.
Hey, listen, anyone who's watching this, and we know there's people who watch it over the internet later.
At least
that's
3.
my idea, whichever, all right?
Maybe Mythbusters contention. Do zombies really die with a shot to the head? Or a cut to the chest, or a cut to the head, or an axe?
All right, so as we're looking forward to the next couple episodes, there's 3 more coming up until the December 2nd deadline. And Hounded, we've kind of bantered around back in the other room. We really can't come up with possibly what that is. But when the dead come knocking, and I have my own theory on that, and I said it in the other room, so if you guys agree with it, I'll let one of you say it.
No, shoot.
But we have Hounded, When the Dead Come Knocking, and Made to Suffer. So there's 3 titles that hopefully have some kind of meaning to something. To me, When the Dead Come Knocking, Laurie's not dead.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll go into that in a little bit. Laurie's not dead, and Carol is with her. And because they think they're dead. They've made graves. All right? So, Laurie, when she was killed off, if anyone who's in the Facebook page, you saw the posting I had where she had to tell people, oh, well, I was on vacation, I'm not in this segment, I'm some time off, and then, so I had to lie that I was dead. I'm thinking she lied that she's dead and that she's not really dead. Carol's got her because Carol is practicing how to do the C-section. If anyone could fix the mess, it would be Carol. So I'm going on. I'm going to guess that's those 2 are coming back. So next episode, we're not going to see Carol. They're not going to find her, and it's going to be they're either deciding to leave the prison or make some kind of dramatic move within the prison, and that's when those 2 come back, or at least Carol comes back.
Okay.
That's it?
No.
We go. All right, I agree
That's
with
why
you.
I love this show.
Yeah,
because
that's it?
This is like when we're
Huh?
sitting around the house. Really?
No, I agree with you because I agreed what you guys were saying in the other room. Hounded. So here's my take on Hounded.
Oh,
Here's what?
Billy's got a great one.
Well, he can wait.
Yeah, we'll bring up Billy's after this, but go ahead.
Hounded is, we ended the show with Rick hearing the crying baby, hearing voices, and then the phone rings. I think Hounded is going to be that he's hounded by everything up to this point. I mean, he has lost everything. I mean, he's now lost his wife. He's lost his best friend. The group has lost so many. He's just hounded by everything that's happened to him. And like I said, he's sitting there covered in zombie blood, and he hears the baby crying, he hears voices, he hears the phone, and he picks up the phone, and he says, hello, hello, and then it cuts. So, I mean, he's having his own...
Billy's theory on that is kind of similar to what you have. It's hounded. I think Rick will have some illusions, flashbacks about Laurie. So
Ghost Whisperer.
You're probably right.
Yeah.
That stress of it doesn't mean it's like a dog hounding you. You're hounded by the pressure and the stress.
How about the fact that we haven't had any flashbacks? The whole first couple of seasons were all about flashbacks, and we haven't had a flashback. Kind of odd.
Well, yeah, and that's go ahead, jump in, and then I'll finish that thought. Go ahead.
I kind of agree with Billy, but I think it's going to end up possibly being on a larger spectrum. If you look at all the main characters that are left, everybody's lost someone. And I think they're going to try to show the toll that it's taken on everybody. So.
Is it fine? Keep
I'm
going.
just trying to help.
Well, let's think of it this way: if you're Rick, the one thing you did when you got out of there was to go and try and find your wife and son to keep them safe, and he's been like all these other people were kind of, tag-alongs. They just kind of happened to be there and that got stuck coming along. Rick's whole mission was really to kind of take care of his wife and his son, and now his wife is dead. He's got to kind of, and his son had to be the one to kill her, which now none of us are starting to believe that Carl couldn't do it, which is fine.
Yeah.
So there's that. But then, all
Maybe.
right. So where are you guys at with when the dead come knocking? That's the
I
best
agree
title
with
of them all. I
We
think.
agree with you. I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree.
I like it. I like the theory.
I also think that they may take it a different way, and I think it might be the beginning of the fall of Woodbury. There's always walkers outside.
Well, and you know what? The way they're playing the two storylines, maybe the title's got two meanings.
Could be.
Maybe the title has two meanings. That for the group in the prison, they're going to be looking at it that way, and then with Woodbury, that'd be awesome.
Well, it's clearly that the governor hasn't given up on Michonne. He's clearly infatuated with both women, and he hasn't. I don't think he's given up on her. He let her go, but he's obviously not going to let that go for too long. He's going to have to go looking for her, for one reason or another, either to find out what she's up to or to try and recruit her back.
I'd like to bring up a question that kind of hit me during this episode. Rick is obviously hell-bent on revenge. How far is he going to take it, and what do you think his main target is? What do you think his real target is? Is it the zombies? Is it life itself? Is it?
To be honest with you, I think he hasn't figured it out yet, and I think that's where his rage has kind of come from. That until he figures out, because he figured it this way: his mission was keeping Laurie and Carl, unfortunately, safe. Unfortunately, we lost Laurie and not Carl, but so be it. So now he's going to have to figure out really what his new mission is. He's going to have to come around fast he's going to have to take care of the baby. And how odd was it that Daryl is the wet nurse?
Uncle Daryl.
Uncle Daryl is
Daryl.
the one who comes along and gets the baby to stop crying.
And how about that name?
That name, I know. We talked about that.
That was like
the name.
42 names.
He is just because he is useful. He is.
And that brings up another point that you brought up earlier while we were watching it. Carl remembering the names of everyone they've lost.
That was a little on the disturbing side.
Yeah.
I know everybody hates Carl, and I hate Carl too, but he's got his good points.
Yeah.
Well,
come and go.
unfortunately, they're giving him good points.
Yeah, unfortunately, they are giving him good points. I mean, he's not, as we say, he's produced. But all of a sudden, he's like, "What do you? Do we have a name for this little ass kicker?" You know. Well, he said it on the TV show. Whatever. Do we have a name for the little butt kicker? And Carl names every female dead person in the group since the show started.
I liked Carol too. But
I'm going to
Carol
guess
too,
that
yeah.
this text that just came in that I don't recognize the number, if I had to guess, it's probably Jordan. My theory is that whatever Rick is on the phone with is really his mind telling him to get it together, like Daryl in the Merrill scene in season 2.
yeah.
That's a great point.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's
like
a
it.
really good. Yep, it is from Jordan. So way to go, Jordan. You got us on that one.
We
like
had
that
the
point.
we had the wrong we had the
wrong Lucia.
we
here
had the
tonight.
wrong Lucier in the room. Is he? Hey, Jordan's dad. Did he go home and go right to bed?
He said he was. He went
said he
right from the
was.
audience and went right home.
He couldn't go home. He couldn't stay here and watch the show. But yet she's up watching the show.
Yeah, she's a little tougher.
Yeah, I know.
She's the Michonne of the family. Well, we
I was hoping you were going to say the Carl of the family.
that's Alan.
Take out Alan.
So we've got about 5 minutes left. Again, thanks to everybody who gets involved in this and comes out to the audience. The group is definitely growing. People are certainly a lot more interested in what goes on. So, as we always end every show, what did you learn tonight? And so, Jason, why don't we start with you? What out of all this did you learn tonight?
The main thing I learned is that in order to be a leader in this zombie apocalypse, you have to be at least a good deal of certifiably nuts. When you look at Phil Connors with his daughter,
Phil?
Phil Connors?
Phil Connors?
when you look at him with his daughter, when you look at what Rick just did, I know he just suffered a loss, but he's been kind of crazy, for the last few episodes at least. And I think that they're incapable of handling these types of situations.
Keith, what did you learn tonight?
I don't know.
Okay, Keith learned nothing
I
in
learned
tonight's
nothing
episode,
tonight.
and that's fine. 'Cause
I learned
really,
nothing from
It's
tonight's
kind of scary that
episode.
we're learning anything from this. I'm just saying.
I learned there's a new segment. What's your favorite kill? There we go. I was better with that one. That was on the fly.
Any recalls lately?
Any what?
Any recalls?
No recalls. There are no recalls on your zombie apocalypse equipment
Okay.
as of lately. But obviously, never mind.
For me, what I learned from this episode was that the zombies' heads can pop like a watermelon, which was fantastic. But two, Daryl's character he's a great number 2. And when you're looking at, like this, who's going to replace the group, seeing Daryl step up, taking control. They needed formula. Rick spazzes out, goes off on the Abraham Lincoln vampire killing spree with the axe. Then he steps up and he comes up with a plan on how to go get the formula. He goes in, gets the stuff, comes back, and then takes control of that situation. And I know this will probably scare some of our female support group members, they could almost kill off Rick now. Because you now have a strong leader in the position that could take this group. And I have yet to see him make a bad decision. He hasn't made a bad decision. He's made selfish decisions, but he hasn't made bad decisions. And he's certainly integrated into the group. And now he's going to be. He was upset about Carol. He brought a flower to the grave, and it was the that flower that she liked with Sophie. So he had that. He takes taking care of the baby. I mean, I think he could be the next real step up guy.
Don't all those qualities also mean he could be the next guy to die?
That's a good point.
All right, fine. Well, be that way. Fine.
So Jason's in love with Rick too.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
That's what I've learned.
You
You know what else? I'll tell you what I've learned. I've learned that these people have just no. They just. It's like save the zombies for something else. You know. I mean, we got the prison group is saving zombies for whatever reason. I mean, they didn't clear out the whole prison. I know it's a big prison, so they're gonna clear them off. Woodbury's clearing them out for their own personal entertainment. You know. Oh, Michonne kills 6. What do? We go and get 6 more. They had a zombie trap set up.
Right.
You know, and then they go all you know, DDS on him and start ripping the teeth out. Which, oh man, I should say it and I can feel it right in my chest when that teeth gets ripped out. It just hurts. But I mean, it's the zombie apocalypse, people. Don't keep them around as pets. Get rid of them.
Right.
They cannot be domesticated.
They absolutely cannot be domesticated. You cannot. You cannot brush their hair. You cannot bust out their favorite music box and hold them down and brush their hair until you rip the scalp out. Okay,
But as
They
we've
are
seen,
not-
you can carry them around on a leash.
and you can carry them around
And
on a
apparently
leash.
you can put a bag over their head and they'll go, oh, okay.
And they'll go, okay, I'll come down, Dad. I'll
Time
come
out.
down, Dad.
Time
Yeah.
out.
Remember that. Yeah. Right now, never mind.
Yeah, Daddy still loves you. Okay,
Yeah.
creepy. Creepy daddy kissing the zombie walking girl for a daughter. That was wrong.
You know what? So where's the wife then? If he's saving the daughter, he's got to have the wife
No,
someplace.
the wife's head in the son's head was in the jar, I think.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I think their heads were in the jar. All
He's
right,
no
so-
better than Herschel then, saving the zombies.
No, but Herschel learned his lesson from it. And we've learned you don't want to start stockpiling walkers around, or in their case, players.
Don't keep them around. Exactly what I was just saying. Don't keep them around. Dumbest
So, once again, if you're in the support group, feel free to reference your friends over, tell them to sign up. We truly love having a conversation with you while the show is live. Certainly, it makes this show better, and it makes it a lot more fun when a bunch of people are jumping in. So, to wrap it up, I want to say thank you for watching the Walking Dead support group, and on behalf of Jason and Keith and myself, and here at Holbrook Community Access and Media, thanks a lot, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you. Good night. Phil?